followed the law.
Correct.
Yes. The first part.
You got the authority of your CC?
The first part, that is authority,
Yes.
from the cabinet, I have said we did that. Maybe we don't have the annex here, but we did it.
Is in that matter in the audit query?
It is a substantive audit query.
You should have
It's a substantive
responded
audit
before
query.
we held this meeting today.
So I'll punish the person who failed to give the document to the auditors because it's there. I'll do administrative.
This is beyond provision of documents.
Yes.
I think allow us to look at the County Attorney's Act, look at the offences defined there, and we recommend appropriately.
Correct.
Because there must be an offence under that act.
The second part, Chair, I agree. The second part of the question is about, I talked of emergency. When somebody brings a letter and tomorrow we are supposed to be in court, if we don't have time to go for a substantive, that's the time now we pick people who are available to defend us.
All that is covered under the procurement laws. You can justify and show the auditors the evidence. Nobody is saying you can't hire external lawyers, but you must follow the law. That's the query before us, that you did not follow the law in hiring the lawyers.
Chair, I am the drafter of the County Attorney Act. The reason we put in place the office of the County Attorney, County Solicitor, is to address emergencies that the governor is saying. Because if he's telling us there is a demand letter today for Nyandarua County to be sued, for example, that they need to go through procurement, yet you have an in-house counsel, unless you are doubting the ability of your in-house legal team. And even the substantive question which has been raised by the auditor, there is no justification that you are having more than 50 law firms to look, or a number of them, without first using internal mechanisms. For example, when the governor, you should talk to your colleague of Kilifi, Gideon Mungaro, and he established a retinue of legal counsel to address. So, Governor, when you appear before us and tell us if there is an emergency, by the time we get an outside legal counsel, then what was the role of us passing the County Attorney Act, which should have addressed this emergency before even? And Governor, you must prove. I remember, Chair, finally, when Senator Dula and myself served in the legal committee, when the DPP brought in the QC, Queen's Counsel, to address the matter, you must have proved beyond reasonable doubt that it needed a speciality on handling of that legal matter that arose. So there must be justification before you give in any legal expert. Unless they are suing something like issues of aerospace engineering, that you need an expert in such area. So, Chair, I think that answer of Governor is not in tandem with the vision that we had.
I think the Governor is guilty as charged. It is upon us to make recommendations in line with the offences defined in the County Attorney's Act. But we take note that you now have a solicitor. Do you have a county attorney?
Yes.
Is the county attorney present?
He is being represented by the Solicitor General.
Why didn't the county attorney come? Because the county attorney is the head of that function.
He had a matter in court today.
It is important that because there are about 4 audit issues touching on legal, it's important that the head of the function is part of this delegation.
Well advised, Chair.
If we propose something alongside the Nairobi City County and other counties with unprecedented pending legal fees, I think Nyandarua should be part of it, so that we can deal with these issues substantively in the presence of the county attorney, alongside Nairobi City County, I think Mombasa and others, who had unprecedented legal fees.
Correct. So I think the direction we're giving to the auditor is, in your subsequent audit, look at this, check whether it is recurring, but also look at the contingent liabilities register to see whether they're disclosing and whether it's being properly stated or overstated. With regards to the pending bills, we are also giving directions that keep this matter in view in the audit cycle that is commencing I think you have already started the in-year audit, and advise us on whether the county is adhering to the recommendations made by the Senate and the requirements of the law, where pending bills is a first charge. And you will see, Governor, from your own records, from page 68 all the way to page 70, you have pending bills for 2013. Roadworks, small things. And perhaps because of time, we will not spend too much on this, but this is an embarrassment for you to carry in your books bills relating to the year 2013, 2014, 10 years down the line. Because if it's a matter of verification, you don't need 10 years to verify whether road was done or not. You just need to make a decision. If the claim is payable, verify and pay it. If it is not, strike it off your book and forward it to DCI. Because if it's not payable, it means that that's a crook who's trying to steal from the county government. Why should you carry a pending bill from 2013? Governor, in all honesty, why should someone be walking around your county with invoices from 2013?
Chair, I want to agree with you, and I hope that circular is strongly given to us the way you have stated, because some of these claims, you find a file with empty papers, nothing, no LSO, no nothing, but somebody is still claiming. There is no way we can pay such a pending bill. But or if you can look at our record since we came in, we have paid quite a sizable amount of pending bill, the ones that are approved. So I think as a country, we need to come up with a way of offloading some of these things. They also.
Well, but Governor, who's going to come up with it? You are the CEO. It's the reason you're in the county and Methu is in the Senate. You are there to make the hard decision. Why should you keep a pending bill in your register from 2013?
And why? The chair, they might need to benchmark with Nyeri. Nyeri has a very small pending bill. They might want to go to Makueni and see what they are doing.
Because they are making the hard decisions. If they are fake claims, they are making a decision on it. Let somebody go to court, deal with it at that point.
Well advised. Yeah.
So this one, you don't need anybody else to guide you. You are the CEO. This is an executive decision. Now, honorable members, let's move a bit faster. On unexplained voided transactions, this is a matter of great concern, but we want to ask the Auditor General to keep this in view in the current year audit. Budgetary control and performance will take the responses on record. Late exchequer releases, again, will take the responses on record and resolve prior year matters. We have agreed, Auditor General, that in the next audit cycle, prior year issues that are still outstanding will appear in the report. When we go to compensation of employees, remember the very first thing we were discussing was the inaccuracies in ledger balances between IFMIS and financial statements on compensation of employees, and that one we've asked the Auditor General to probe further. There was lack of an approved staff establishment. Governor, have you defined and gotten approval for your staff establishment?
Yes, we have already done the draft and also passed it. Now we are sending it to the Assembly for final.
So it is still in draft form?
Yes.
Auditor General, you could look at that and report in the next cycle. Non-compliance with law on ethnic composition. There is a counterpart committee, the National Cohesion Committee, that I believe is doing inquiries on this. I don't know whether you have appeared before it.
Yes, I did.
And you have made presentations
we made presentation and we are making progress.
We shall be guided by the report of the committee. On fiscal responsibility, 43% of total receipts are going to employees, which is above the 35%. Just recently, through the valiant efforts of Senator Mogeni, Nyandarua was included in the counties that received an affirmative action top-up. And we hope that if your revenues are guaranteed to be at 6 billion, then we should see a reduction of this ratio. Senator Omogeni, would you wish to reaffirm, because these governors sometimes think that we do nothing in Nairobi. Can you reaffirm what the 47 senators have done for Nyandarua?
Let me begin by asking, did you follow the proceedings?
Chair, I'm so excited. If it is Senator Omogeni who prosecuted that, then the Nyandarua, we owe you gratitude.
Yeah,
I followed and it was really exciting.
It was the entire Senate.
Oh,
it appears you are not familiar with the facts.
No, but you.
That's why that is the first question.
You're progressing very well. I was the brainchild, but without their support, it could never have seen the light of the day. But really, I hope once you get this money, you use it for development for the people of Nyandarua. Don't get the money and balloon your workforce, and you tell us I use the money to employ more people. Because that was not the intention. I was at pains to convince the Senate why we need that affirmative fund to spur development in the small counties.
I agree with my senator that this money is going directly to major
development
projects in the
Okay,
country.
so then you can thank the chair and all senators.
Because for Nyandarua to get more, it meant Homa Bay was to get
Was
less.
losing something.
Correct.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's the easy calculation, that for the 12 to get, we had to remove from Homa Bay, Nandi here, for you to get something. So it's a big sacrifice from the other counties to assist you to do catch up.
Correct.
Yeah. Please bear that in mind with your other 11 brothers and sisters, if there is any.
The only gift that you can give governor is to ensure there is prudent use of value, because Homa Bay and Nandi we lost, because all of us are cousins wherever you come from, Chair. So that is why we consider that into action, Chair. You didn't answer something about JM Karaoke Memorial. I just requested one. I had requested this JM Memorial Hospital. I know it's part of the question, just Chair, because he didn't answer. Did you sort any help from the national government, or is purely financed by the county?
Senator, I'd like, it's a good question.
Yes,
it's a substantive matter. Let's just run through and deal with it.
Okay.
So, payment of salary outside IPPD system. Auditor General, has this matter been resolved?
Yeah, not yet, not yet.
So they are still running manual payrolls?
Yes, Chair.
This matter remains unresolved. We allow you to probe it further and report in the next audit cycle. Failure to recruit a Solicitor General. Governor, has that been resolved? And someone introduced themselves as a Solicitor General. Where is the evidence? Where is the evidence that that matter has been closed?
You have a physical evidence.
When were they appointed?
Letters maybe, annexures.
Thank you, Honorable Chair members. I confirm that I'm the county solicitor for Nyandarua County.
With
effect from 20th December.
20th December.
Of December, yes.
Which year?
2024.
2024.
Yeah.
Okay, so we shall see whether it's going to change the next query, which is irregular engagement of consultants for legal services. That is what we have discussed at length, and the governor has pleaded guilty. It is upon us to decide how to punish him. Non-adherence to the stipulated budget process timelines. Again, we have spent a lot of time on budget issues. Members of County Assembly, do not allow the executive to hijack your budget function. And we are seeing a lot of shortcomings that have been highlighted by the Auditor General on the budget process. Excessive budgetary allocation to the County Assembly. Mr. Deputy Speaker.
Chair, you should also mention to the county assemblies that we are proposing a constitution amendment to create a fund for the assembly. So that bill is on the floor. If it ever lands in Nyandarua, ensure that you support it. Yeah.
Thank you. Members of County Assembly, you have been cited that you are getting more money than you need. Deputy Speaker, is that true?
Honorable Chair, the allocation of the county assembly has a ceiling from SRC, but there is amount of money for development that is allocated through the county government. So I'm not sure. I don't know whether I have answered that.
Well, the regulations require that 7% or not more than twice the personnel emoluments of the county assembly is what should be sent to you. And I think Senate has been too generous with county assemblies over the years that we have raised the ceilings, and as a result, you're getting 11%. So with 11%, we have seen 43% is going to salaries. 11% is going to the assembly. Already half of the money, 54% of the money you get is going to salaries and the assembly. You are left with only 46% to maneuver. And out of the 46%, you are only putting 1 billion to development. 1.1 billion out of 5.6 billion. You are putting less than 20% on development.
Maybe, Chair, a member of the board should be appropriately able to answer that.
I don't know whether the problem is yours or the problem is with the executive or the problem is the Senate. Do they bully you that they must get above 7% or else they impeach you?
No, what the DS has said is correct. Nyandarua, was left behind both in all spheres. We don't have a county headquarters, we don't have a county hospital, we don't have governors, we don't have speakers, we didn't have a speaker's house. So that is why you find sometimes we extend some development money to them for them also to be able to do things that were not there before. Otherwise, we are doing fine. This 43% was as a result of the OSR this year. We had a lot of problems with the finance bill. You remember even at national level, you experienced a lot of trouble. It happened in our place. When we prepared our finance bill, we had court cases. Therefore, we never collected enough money, and that is how the calculation shows as if we spent so much on which bill and not development.
Well, the fact is that you spent just $1 billion on development, which is 20% of your total revenues. That is not the reason why devolution was brought. Counties were not supposed to be payroll stations. They were supposed to be development units.
Chair, one exchequer, which was purely for development, never came. So that would have been 1.5 billion.
And your own source revenue, how much is it?
That year we had given us 1.2. We thought we could go there, but when financial bill brought problems, we could not raise that. That is why even in the following year, we have brought down the finance bill.
Senator Omogeni, I'm sure that Senator Methu must have used a sleight of hand on you because their own source revenue is 500 million. Their equitable share was 5.6 billion, so they're already above 6 billion in terms of consolidated revenue sources. But kiendacho kwa Nyandarua akijapotea.
We were basing, we were basing the uplift on anybody below 6 billion on equitable share, not on source. That's where we sneak them in. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that one you need to, if you go back to the county, you must tell them that your senator was able to convince other senators to be able to get you an additional allocation, which you must confirm will not go towards Mandazi, and salaries will go to a defined project. And I hope with the cooperation of the county assembly in the budget exercise, you can ring fence that 400 or so million so that it goes into something that will be a legacy.
It's true. I've already talked the good of our senator and all the senators in this country, and we confirm that we shall ring fence that money for proper development.
Okay, so on this audit query, Auditor General, your observation is valid. please report on it as long as it remains above what is in law. It is upon the Senate now to revise the ceilings to bring them down to the 7%. So this matter remains unresolved, and keep reporting on it until the day when we'll have amended our ceilings or amended the law.
Well guided, Chair.
Irregular revenue collection and management system extension. Earlier in our briefing, we agreed that we will stand down the interrogation of the receiver of revenue statement. We will ask the Auditor General to do a comprehensive inquiry and report in the 2024-2025 period. So all the issues that appeared in the receiver of revenue report, we shall not address them, but we'll ask the auditor to review and report back in the subsequent financial year. Irregular payment of subscription to the Council of Governors, that we take the view that it is an irregular charge, and therefore we shall be proposing that this money be recovered from the Governor of Nyandarua County, because he is the member of the Council of Governors who is benefiting from irregular proceeds. Non-compliance with the law on pending bills. We have spent a lot of time on pending bills. We have asked the Auditor General to do a detailed review of that. This issue of municipality expenditure on designated departments, where you are spending on behalf of Olkalou municipality. Again, Auditor, you will review whether this is prevalent and persistent. Irregular commitments for supply of goods and services. We had alluded to this at the beginning of our conversation, where you had payments made outside the financial year but backdated to 30th of June. Now you have 194 million for supply of goods and services made after 31st of May without the approval of the accounting officer. The law says, yes, you may make those commitments, but there has to be the approval of the accounting officer. Auditor General, did you get the approvals?
Not yet, Chair.
Therefore, the accounting officer is in breach of law. Governor, what do you have to say for that?
I'm aware a letter should be written. When we were going through this report, I asked my members, and they confirmed that a letter was written. Maybe if they did not present it to the auditor, that is an issue. But
we take the position that an offence has been committed. Regulation 51 of the PFM has been defiled, and therefore we'll be proposing appropriate measures in line with the offences defined in the Act and in the regulation. Because this is such a simple thing. We are not saying it should not, but show us evidence that there was an approval of the accounting officer. And so we are not going to waste time on this. We will just pronounce ourselves that investigation should be done with a view to prosecution for violation of that regulation. On projects implementation, there was incomplete and low absorption in projects implementation status report. And this is where we were hoping that the county assembly would be ahead of the Senate, because it's difficult to oversight projects while sitting in Nairobi. These projects exist in your wards. So if there were 770 projects with a budget of 3 billion, for 207 were ongoing, 42 projects worth 64 million had not started. The best place for this kind of oversight is at the County Assembly. So, honourable members of County Assembly, even though we have had this exercise in the Senate, when you go back to your Assembly, please give a lot of priority to the projects. Because we have dealt with the other issues of lawfulness, issues of bookkeeping. Please focus on the projects, because there is no way, sitting in Nairobi, we can say that projects are happening without visiting the ground. So 9.1, this is a matter where we are recommending the County Assembly to take a detailed look, but the auditor should also do a deeper analysis and report in the next cycle.
Chair, if I can add there, what we have done to help in this is that we have appointed a county project implementation team, and we have also done a website where implementation will be shown on a daily basis, right from awarding up to the completion. So,
but Chair, I think the panacea to this would just be providing adequate budgets. Even when you have monitoring and evaluations teams and there are no budgetary allocations, still will be facing headwinds. I think budget is the issue.
thank you.
Proper budget implementation.
Correct. Moving first, the county headquarters at Olkalo. Governor, Senate has previously allocated funds for this, isn't it?
Yes, you have done, and we are still pleading with you, Chair, after you allocated this money about almost a year ago. This money has not hit our accounts. So you also need your support there so that this money can come. We finish this.
But there was a handover to the State Department recently.
The money, they just handed over.
In terms of project management and project completion.
No funds received yet.
Aren't you in the same category as Isiolo?
Yes, we
and
are.
Tarakaniti?
Yes.
And which other county was
Lamu.
that? And Lamu?
Yes.
Auditor, you need to, because when we went to Isiolo, you remember we were of the view that before there was a handover, Patrick, were we together with you in Isiolo?
That was Smaili then.
That was Smaili?
Yes.
Because we had concerns on how the money that had been sent to the counties had been used or misused. Clerk, could you just help us remember?
Yes, we resolved that before the handover was done, there would be an audit to find out how much had been sent, how much had been used, and the percentages that were done.
But then the handover was done nonetheless because there was pressure from the governors.
Yes.
So could you, in the case of Nyandarua, because that's what we're looking at, give us an assurance that the monies that senators appropriated previously as a conditional grant for the county headquarters was properly utilized, and the transition that was done, that the resources are traceable, and there is lawfulness and efficiency in that? Because there are many paragraphs on this matter. Senator Maruma?
Yeah, it seems that the money expended is 339 million out of 617. Could the auditor confirm that the project could be at 50% and above completion rate?
Chair, maybe as the auditor is answering, I would like him to note that unlike the other 4 counties, for Nyandarua, the project manager, even for the period that elapsed, has been the Minister of Public Works headquarters. So even as he's looking for the details, he needs also to consult the Minister of Public Works because they were the